Hi, I'm Steve Shelburne, owner and operator of Shelburne RV here in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. Well, good morning. We're back here on a Monday morning. Snapped off cold over the holiday weekend. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving with your families. We did here at Shelburne RV. Cousin Gary had plenty to eat this holiday. He actually came over to the house, and yeah, the Thanksgiving turkey was Cousin Gary approved this year, so that's always a good thing, right? So the boys have been working on a few things last week. We had a Horizon Class A motor coach that came in with a basement air, and it had some problems. I think Mr. Lewis told me it had a bad outdoor fan motor was the only thing wrong with it. So we did update the outdoor fan motor and put a bearing on it. So it's getting ready to go back in this morning, and we've got several other projects we're going to look at this morning, so let's get rolling. So here's the basement air Mr. Lewis pulled out. Now he's already serviced it, and I don't know what the heck got a hold of it right there. We didn't do that, but 46515-811. So this is obviously not the original air unit. This is an 18 model air unit, so fairly new air unit. So he's getting it, getting the insulation put back on since he's got it all finished up and done. And then it's gonna, and you've already test run it, haven't you, Mr. Lewis?
Yes, sir.
So it's already been test run, so it's ready to go back in the coach this morning. So Brandon's working on this little Winnebago Adventure, and the customer had somebody install a residential refrigerator in here and was telling us that they were smelling propane. So they brought it in to have us look at it. Well, I want to see if you guys can see. All right, that line right there, that is actually the propane line that somebody just took a knife and cut it off. The bad part is we went in here and got to looking, and the CO2 carbon monoxide detector underneath the refrigerator, they just cut the wires off on it too. So yeah, that was fixing to be a big problem. So we got to find, the bad part is this thing's in a slide, so we've got to find the other end of that hose and do away with that, and then see about fixing the propane detector, because that was fixing to be a bad deal. All right, so they've got the line out of the Winnebago. You can see, you know, that's not important. Let's just cut that off. But they've got this pulled out now, and they're going to go ahead and cap it on that end. But yeah, this is dangerous, guys. Mr. Lewis has got another Adventure Winnebago that came in and wasn't running correctly. Now you can see he's got 3 capacitors sitting right there. It's supposed to be 30 UF. One of them wasn't even reading. He got everything up and going on the test box. And then when he started doing his testing, he found out that the trunk was blown up. Now, you see what's missing right here. That's the only way other than pull this rear cap off, which we don't want to do that. You can see there's no access like the diesels with the engine in the back. So he went in here and actually had to do some cutting on this fiberglass in here to even be able to reach up in there and get that. But he's got that from there down to the trunk. That's all sealed up and now is got good differential temperature inside. Back here working on the floor on this Vibe. Now you can see where Lewis has got cut out here. And this again is the problem with these bonded floors. There's a beam and that's a beam. So now he's going to go in here with some wood structure and start tying all this together. I mean, it's about the only way you can do this without having to tear the whole daggum thing apart, but there you go. More updates in a minute. Got a big sandpiper 5th wheel that came in. The guy clipped the gas pump with it. Let me show you what Lewis has got on this. We got to rebuild this whole back wall. You can see where he grabbed a hold of this thing and it has damaged, tore that pylon. Now we're going to go in here and replace this pylon. So we're going to start disassembling. We got to take the window and all the components out of here. We're going to start on that now. So there's the back wall off of this, and so you can see we've got it all peeled off. Now I'll tell you what's kind of disappointing about this is when they put this on here, that's the only glue, and it's just sealant. They just put, but it's a lot of this sealant. I mean, look at this, wasn't even touching. So that back wall was only secured by the window and by the lower trim. This wasn't even touching that. So yeah, just a little, I mean, that was touching. You can see it was touching. But a little sad that this is how they put this together. I mean, you can see that up there. Look at that string right there. I mean, it's just poorly thrown together. So we're gonna do a little better job doing this. We're gonna red glue it all back on there so it doesn't have this problem. See where Mr. Lewis is at on this floor. You can see he's got all the structure tied in. So it looks awesome. So put those little white brackets right there, you can see. Those are screwed to the board, and then he put it down in and screwed that in there. The door frame's gonna hide all that. But this has put the structure back in there. Now we're gonna go ahead and skin all this with the 1/4-inch plywood. And we'll probably put some spray foam down in there and then screw it down. That spray foam will help adhere to this. So that's got all the structure. This is turning out awesome. So we'll be doing the flooring tomorrow. Another situation we're dealing with on this Winnebago Adventure is the heating element is ruptured in that tank. So, of course, you see what's going on there. The only way to get that out is to pull the hot water heater. Customer also stated that the hydraulics were not working correctly. And so they got to doing some diag on this. And as you can see, the 2 little black solenoids right there are actually leaking. You can see there's more leaks down there on the actuator solenoid that helps the rooms run in equally. One of the hoses down there is leaking. The problem is that hose runs over here to this room slide, which is, let me take you over here and show you this. Here's the water bay. You see this tank with the water tank. That top cylinder way back in the bottom right there is where that hose has to be taken apart. And as you can see, there's no access. All right, so we got a Keystone Cougar 5th wheel that came in. I think we did a video on it last week about the cooling unit not 1350 was not cooling correctly. So we did it through the aftermarket warranty. And again, we're not going to do the 1350 Dometic cooling unit. We're going back with the Amish built brand new cooling unit. So as we tear this apart, I'm going to have Gary, we'll do a video kind of showing you guys. You know, we talked about it in my one video, RM 1350 debunking the nuts and bolts. This is going to be one of those that we're going to show you as we tear it apart. But we know this cooling unit has failed. So now it's just a replacement of the cooling unit. So we'll show you as we go through this. But Cousin Gary's actually in here right now. See there, making noise on my video while I'm talking to you. That's what he does. So we're gonna get this going here now and kind of show you what's going on. So we got this cooling unit now. Now this is what I want to show you guys, because this is what we run into all the time. Let's see what's going on here. Gary's pulling this one out. Okay. All right, that's what we're talking about. The magic tin foil, guys. This is where the problem comes in place, because it doesn't matter. You got to get it through that. And look at here. There's one layer. There's a second layer underneath there. 2 layers of tin foil. And watch this. This is what we're talking about in the video that we did about the 1350. There's your thermal mastic. Now, how's that thermal mastic going to get through to this when it's blocked by that? This is the problem, guys. This is where we run into issues with this 1350s not transferring the temperature into that box. Now, when Gary does this, he's going to fix all this. Now, something else I don't like, look at here. This is the quality that Dometic gave you. Didn't even get the foam in there. So we're going to fix that, because what's happening now is you're getting water migration into that box. So all this has got to be sealed up correctly and done the correct way. And if you can get that thermal mastic where it's actually transferring temperature into this box, this cooling unit will work correctly. Obviously that one's got a problem. We're going to change that with the Amish. So Gary's got the cooling unit with the mastic on there. Now remember, guys, this is the magic. This is where it makes it happen. That's what's going to transfer all that temp into that refrigerator. So he's got a generous amount of mastic on here, and we're going to go ahead and install this now. Give me that right. Come on now. Yeah, that drains you. Now what Gary's doing is he's pushing that down to make sure that that thermal mastic is pulling up tight against that case. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the screws in here to hold this. We're going to stand it up. We're going to pull the cooling unit tight. And then we're going to lay it back down and pull those screws out. And then we'll foam around the edges to make sure there's no air or moisture getting in there. And then he'll tape all this and then screw all this back down. Okay, so now that we've got it stood up, you can see all the bolt holes in here. Now we don't use the screws that Dometic use. The ones they use will rust, so we're gonna use stainless steel screws and washers. And so what he'll do is he'll go through and he'll tighten all these up now, pulls that cooling unit tight. We know that mastic is nice and tight. And then we'll lay this back down, and then we'll go in here and get all the foam. So you can see gaps in there. We'll get all that foamed in and then taped, and then this cooling unit will be completely sealed up in there, and there won't be no issues with that. Now, something else that we've got to deal with while we're in here is this baffle. Now remember, heat rises, but we're asking it to take a left, and they don't want to take a left. So what happens is this heat, because they didn't do this baffle correctly, you can see how much gaps on either side of this. What's happening is that heat's coming up here and it's getting up here and tumbling. And what little bit of airflow we have from the fan, because remember the fans come on at 189 degrees, we're going to change that to the 100-degree thermo button, which is going to be mounted right there. That will allow the fans to come on at 100 degrees, and then Gary's going to redo this baffle where it goes all the way across here, and there's no gap. That way when the fan comes up and comes on, it's going to push that heat and push everything rejected out the louvers, which is very, very critical on the slide out. So it's been a little bit. See what Lewis has gotten done on this Vibe. I've been busy doing other stuff. All right, so you can see he's got that all in there, all glued down. All the screws are in place. I don't want to walk on it just yet because I think he just got done doing that a little bit ago, but I can tell you that's already going to be stronger. So we'll look again here in a few minutes and see what he's got. Mr. Lewis has been working on this one while he got done with that other one. Now this was all rotted out down to here and across, so he's going to go ahead and fix that. And there's a little spot over here that he's going to fix, but he's working on getting that done. And then this pylon should be here tomorrow. We'll start building this back wall and getting it ready to go back in. Another project they've been working on is this horse trailer out here. Now this one came in with that jack system right there. It's got the 2-speed jack on it. I can tell you that thing's a bear. It's either you can't move it or it's super fast in high gear, but it ain't got enough to go up. So the customer opted into purchasing the EQ Systems hydraulic jack system. There's the jack assembly and the switch and all. So they're working right now on getting this, getting the mounting plates. Obviously you can see that right there. Getting them bolted on right there, and this will make this a whole lot easier for whoever's trying to get this big rascal on and off the truck. So Gary's got the new stainless steel screws and washers in place. He's got them all tight. So now we know the cooling unit is pulled up tight against all this, and we know that mastic is correct in there. So now he's going to lay it back down and we're going to foam the back. Well, we're back here a little bit on an early Thursday morning. It's been bonkers here the last couple days. Had lots and lots of campers come in. And for some reason, most of them have been Class C motor coaches. I don't know. It's kind of strange. I mean, they kind of come in waves some days. We don't have any Class Cs, and then we got a whole bunch of them. I mean, look over here. I'm going to show you this here. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4 more on this side of the thing. 2 here. And I think there's 2 up on top of the hill right now waiting to be worked on. So, hey, thanks, guys, with all you Class Cs. Appreciate you bringing those in. Kind of wild that we got that many going on right now. So, a little bit of a cold start this morning. Jan and I had to get in here first thing this morning. We were so busy with phone calls and mobile service calls and just people dropping off yesterday. She's a little bit behind getting her estimates done this morning. So, she's in here doing estimates this morning, and I'm actually walking down here to open the gate in the cold. Boys will be rolling in here in a few minutes and we'll get rolling. Gary's got the 1350 cooling unit in here. You can see he's got it all foamed and taped. 100-degree thermal button. 2 new fans, because we're not reusing the ones that were on the Dometic when it came in. And then he's got the baffle done. Now, guys, it ain't got to be pretty. All we got to do is stop that air. He's got all that put together, reuse the old stuff. But again, you got to force it out that hole. So he's added onto it. That's okay. We're not reinventing the wheel here. We just need the air to go out and head left. So he's got this ready where it's ready to go back in, and then we'll do the test run on it. So that's how you glue the backer to that. Now, we're going to go ahead and trim all that out because we did mark it on the back side of that. Probably won't cut out the window, but the window is marked. But we'll cut out the lights and other stuff, and then we're going to start working on getting it put back on that frame right there.
See that trim on the bottom?
All right, there you go, glued on and tacked on. So now Lewis will go through and he'll start putting all the trims on, and this will be on its way. All right, well, as you can see, we had quite a bit going on this week. Lots of projects in the works. Gary, how was Thanksgiving dinner? Was it Cousin Gary approved?
Oh, yes, it was.
Yes, I told you in the video he was. He ate a bunch. He enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for all the comments from last week. And remember, this video is
Cousin Gary approved.
Y'all take care.